Hi everyone, welcome back. It's day 5 of 61 days of ICAD. Today I'm using my spatula. I'm using leftover paint to do this card. My card is raw and I'm just adding the paint on it. There's no gesso. I wasn't sure what to do. I just knew that I wanted to use up the extra paint. So instead of using a brush for that brush effect, I thought I would use the spatula so I'll get a different type of texture on my card. As I was finishing up, I looked up on my table and I saw this lovely leaf, which, oh my gosh, isn't it sweet? My thought was, do I cover it or do I not? Because it's so pretty, uncovered in its natural state. But I decided to paint it. And what I found is that it really showed up the texture of the details of the leaf, which I love. So I was trying to dry it without having it curl and bend and get out of shape. And then I thought, maybe if I use white over it, I could show up the texture even more. Because you know when you do your ridges and stuff and then you just pass paint over it, it shows up the texture really nicely. But as you can see, that did not happen. And I broke the tip of the leaf, which really, I was really upset. But I didn't like how the white looked at all, so I'm trying to rub it off, and then I said I'll just do another coat of the red and leave it like that, because it really didn't work out. But I do like how the red looks. I like how it it really shows up the details, as I said before. And then I'm just going to see how best I could place it on my card. So I'm trying to find which position looks best, which direction. I thought it needed some sort of background, something to rest on besides the card. So I pulled out my black and white threads and I'm looking to see if it looks good. Where that direction looks really good, actually. I prefer how I had it before. Is it? But I don't know, the thread, it just didn't feel right. It wasn't looking right. It didn't sit right. So I thought, okay, let's try some black. Because I pulled out the black first and then I thought, nah, the card is kind of dark already, so let me do the white. But the white didn't feel good. And then I put the black and the black didn't feel good. And I thought maybe no thread. Because it was just, ugh. Maybe I could have lightened up whatever area it was going to sit on so the thread would show up more. That thought never occurred to me. So what I'm actually trying to do now is darken up some of the areas, because I found that where the leaf was resting, it just looked really bland. It was just too light. And I like how the red looked against the darker blue. So I thought, okay, let's bring in a piece of cloth. And I thought, woo, this looks good. It's a nice pop, but I didn't like the kind of line in the middle. So we had some thread pulled out from the middle there. So what I did was pull this piece of cloth, which was just a little tester a piece of cloth, a sample that I used to test one of my tools. So it didn't go too well, so I kept it there. I could have thrown it away, but I left it there. And look at that, I'm going to use it now. Very interesting, right? So I just stuck the leaf through it and I used that as its little background, and I decided to just twist it a little bit instead of putting it straight, because why not? Something different. My word today is restored. I was looking through my words and that one it stuck. I couldn't take my eyes off it. I looked away and then my eyes just went back to it because it felt right. And I think it's because, when with plants, you just, I remember at work there was a tree I passed by almost every day, and it was dropping leaves like crazy. And then one day it was just naked, just branches. And then, I'm not lying, I think it was 2 days later, it was full of leaves again. I've never seen anything like it in my life, and I just thought about the wonder of God. And, knowing that this leaf on my card is obviously dead, it, for me, it represents life and the possibility of restoration and, the wonders of God and how He restores. He restores situations. He restores health. He restores, so many different things. He restores past opportunities. He is a restorer. So, this word popped out, and this card is significant for me because it reminds me how awesome my God is and how much He restores, and He wants to restore us, to where things that we've lost, So I had a blue spot on my leaf. I don't know when it happened, but one of the paint went on it, and I was trying to, what I should have done was put white on it and then paint over the red. But again, I didn't think of that. So the spot is still there, but I'll fix it later on. I'll put a white, because it still has a blue spot. So I'll put the white over it and then put the red. I was actually thinking of putting more blue spots, but then I was like, nope, you don't want to spoil a leaf again. Yeah. So, God is my restorer. This leaf represents restoration to me because it reminds me of the tree. The tree drops its leaves. It goes through its seasons just as we do. And it does it gracefully, without complaint. And it just does what it does, and it looks beautiful. The leaves die, and the fruits, if it's a fruit tree, it dies, and it revives. The seed goes into the ground, and it does its thing, and God does His thing, and another fruit tree goes up, and yeah. So I'm just really excited about this card. See, I'm just fumbling all over, more than usual, but yes. So this is it for my card. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to your comments, and I will see you for day 6. Thank you all so much. Bye.